having young women that I've seen now become CEOs in their own right, helping young parents who have really got to understand the value of being a parent and doing the best they can with circumstances. Adding the media piece in that paralleled. Always wanting to use my voice to help lift up those who feel unseen. And so, yes, you have the connections with the celebrities, but my reason for that wasn't about celebrity. When I had them on my show, which we created, it was an independent show that became world known, I wanted them to talk to the young people about what they could say to them to help positive. We didn't care about the music and all of that. What can Queen Latifah say to help empower? What can Notorious Big say to help empower? And I have young people to this day, we had a Words of Wisdom segment, and those segments did something to them. I hate to say it, sometimes they don't listen to us. They want to listen to the folks, those folks on television. But at least have the folks on TV tell them something positive, and that's what it was about for us. And I'll end there.
Awesome, awesome. Wow. So you see we have a tapestry of gift, grace, and talent, and grit. And these three individuals who have various walks of life, but yet the single thread that I see in them is surrender, is strength, is tenacity, and more importantly, is leadership unleashed. So as we go to Mr. Al Pittman, I want to just really deal with, because you've been very modest here, sir, but you've had a storied career. Tell us about a couple of cases that you can share that's not under any non-disclosure agreements.
Okay.
That will help us out.
Why don't I do that? I sit here, senior to my left and right, but I've shrank since they told you a little bit about themselves. I've shrank in stature. So yeah, I'm a lawyer. I've done cases. I say that I take the difficult cases. Early in my career, I converted an $800 dispute into a $1.25 million verdict.
Wow.
And that was sort of the jump start, the kickoff point. $800 dispute with an insurance company on behalf of an individual whom they refused to pay, just $800. And it really is $800 more because he damaged a tractor trailer, and the insurance company paid some, but every time they go back to the shop owners, the mechanics had found something else. So with $800 left to pay, they said no. He comes to me, I convert $800 to $1.25 million. Wow. Now, another difficult case was an age discrimination case. Age discrimination, the line of division is 40. Well, it's easy to take on a case for a person who's 70, 60, but when a person is 40 plus some months old and he's alleging age discrimination, he's right at the line, just past 40, it's a bit more difficult. And so I had a lawyer call on me to come into that case and assist him with it, because he says, I've been researching and I see nobody wins these cases except you. And I'd like to have you come on with me. We took that marginal age discrimination case to a $10 million dispute. There are other cases in my background that are that kind of case, but I represent the little individuals. I represent people who, without me, would have no voice. I represent workers in factories who are not being paid their full wages in class actions, North Carolina. And I practice in California, North Carolina, Florida, Michigan, New York, and Washington, D.C. I don't think I left it out. But in North Carolina, doffing and donning, I don't know if you know what that is, but it's putting on your clothes because you're required to have a special clothing in order to perform at this factory. And doffing, taking them off. So doffing and donning, putting them on, taking them off, you should be paid, but the employer wasn't compensated. And he refused to compensate. So enter Al Pittman. It's only a few minutes a day, but they're entitled to compensation. So they're entitled to be paid. And so I step in, insist that they be paid. Company tells me no. So we get the little, it wasn't a lot of money, about $12 million, and disperse it among the employees. But funny thing about that situation was I made a recommendation that they move the time clock so that it would eliminate the problem. Yeah. I got a curse response. You don't tell my client how to run its company.